So it seems that North Korea could finally be getting the legitimacy that they have craved for decades. But what does President Trump need to bring back from this summit to call it a success?
I think it's still too early to determine what the concrete results and successes of this summit will be. There are still a lot of unknown questions that have to be resolved. First, where will the summit be held? What will actually be on the negotiating table? Do the United States and North Korea actually agree to the same concept of denuclearization? Who will be involved in the working level discussions? So there are many unresolved issues before we can even start talking about what kind of outcome this summit will have.
I want to talk a little bit about China, because China hosted the six-party nuclear talks before North Korea walked away in 2009. How do they feel about not taking the lead on this issue and being more in charge when it comes to North Korea?
Publicly, China is supportive of dialogue. That's a stance that they've had in the past, and the Chinese Foreign Ministry has said as much in the last day. But I think the Chinese are always sort of skeptical and suspect about direct talks between the United States and North Korea, because they are a little bit wary or concerned that the United States might try to cut them out of a deal that involves the security of the Korean Peninsula and long-term, perhaps unification of the two Koreas. So the Chinese, on the one hand, are supportive, but on the other hand, they will also want to be involved in any long-term discussions in the future.
Lisa, how much alignment is there among the various parties? And by that, I mean China, that you just talked about, South Korea, Japan, with the United States. Are we as one about what we want to have come out of these talks?
So that's a little unclear at this point. Of course, the South Koreans are obviously supportive of dialogue with North Korea. The other countries in the region, China and Russia, have publicly stated that they are supportive. But I think the United States has to work more closely with its ally Japan. And it also has to work very closely with the South Koreans to determine what the exact outlines of the dialogue strategy will be with North Korea. And again, the issue of what does denuclearization mean to all parties is another open question.